Over 60. 4 dangerous cheeses you should never touch, and 4 you must eat daily. Senior health tips. You've probably heard it all your life: cheese is good for you. It's comforting, creamy, and full of calcium, right? For decades, we've sprinkled it on pasta, melted it over toast, or enjoyed it with a glass of wine, believing we were doing something kind for our bones. But what if that belief came with a hidden cost? What if some of those same cheeses that once felt like comfort are now quietly stressing your heart, clouding your memory, and upsetting your digestion? For millions of Americans over 60, that's exactly what's happening. Not because cheese itself is bad, but because the way it's made today has changed more than most of us realize. If this sounds like something you felt too, you're not alone, and that's why we're here. Tap that thumbs up if you'd like more gentle tips like this. Now let's talk about what you can start doing today. Walk down any grocery aisle and you'll see it shelf after shelf of cheese, bright packaging, heart-shaped logos, words like healthy, light, or fortified. It's confusing even for people who've spent a lifetime cooking at home. Most of these labels don't tell the whole story. Some cheeses are processed to the point that their natural nutrients are stripped away and replaced with chemicals that keep them soft or help them last longer. The dairy industry isn't evil, but it is enormous. And when a business this big depends on consumer loyalty, keeping you unsure about what's truly healthy can be incredibly profitable. So we're left trusting what we were told decades ago, unaware that modern versions of familiar foods may not support our aging bodies the same way they once did. That's why this video exists, to clear the confusion. Over the next few minutes, we'll uncover 4 cheeses that are silently aging your body faster and 4 that can actually help restore balance, energy, and memory. These aren't fad foods or expensive superfoods. They're simple choices that can protect your heart, calm your gut, and support a sharper mind. Some might already be in your fridge right now. So stay with me until the end. You'll know exactly which ones to skip and which ones to enjoy daily with confidence. And while you're here, share your age and your go-to cheese in the comments below. We read and reply personally because everyone's body and every story deserves its own care. 4. Cottage cheese. The salty trap. For decades, cottage cheese carried the reputation of being the healthy choice. It was light, high in protein, and low in fat, the perfect snack for anyone watching their weight. Many seniors still keep it in the fridge, believing it's a safe evening treat. But the truth hiding in that small bowl is something most people never realize. Today's cottage cheese is often loaded with salt. Some brands contain more than 800 milligrams of sodium per cup. That's over a third of the daily limit in just one serving. For someone in their 60s or 70s, that extra sodium doesn't just make you thirsty. It quietly raises blood pressure, strains your kidneys, and dehydrates tissues that are already more fragile with age. Think about the last time you had a bowl before bed, maybe with some fruit or crackers while watching the news. It seems innocent enough. But for many older adults, that late-night snack can trigger fluid retention and morning swelling, especially around the ankles. It's not that your body is failing you, it's simply being overloaded with more sodium than it can process overnight. Studies in recent years show that seniors who eat high-salt dairy several times a week can see a noticeable rise in systolic blood pressure within just a few months. It's a silent shift that's easy to miss until you wake up feeling puffy, lightheaded, or unusually tired. Take Sylvia, a 71-year-old retired librarian from Vermont. She started eating a cup of cottage cheese every night, thinking it was the best bedtime snack she could choose. Within weeks, her ankles began to swell and she started waking up foggy and short of breath. When her doctor checked her pressure, it had climbed from a comfortable 128/80 to 150/90, even though she hadn't changed her medication. Once she switched to a low-sodium Ricotta instead, her swelling disappeared and her numbers slowly returned to normal. If you love cottage cheese, you don't have to give it up completely. Just be mindful. Look for no salt added or low-sodium versions. Most big grocery stores carry them now. You can even rinse it gently before serving to wash away some of the surface salt. And try to enjoy it earlier in the day rather than right before bed when your body is least equipped to handle fluid shifts. A small change like that can make a big difference in how you feel each morning. Now that you know why the healthiest cheese isn't always what it seems, let's move on to another popular favourite one that's got a little kick. A lot of flavour and a few hidden ingredients your gut may not thank you for. 3. Pepper Jack, the preservative bomb. It's fun, it's flavourful, and it's dangerous in disguise. Pepper Jack is one of those cheeses that brings a little excitement to the plate. It melts beautifully. It's got that playful spice, and for years it's been marketed as the grown-up version of regular cheese, something that adds personality to sandwiches or omelettes. But behind that little kick hides a mix of additives that don't belong in your body, especially after 60. What gives Pepper Jack its smooth melt and long shelf life isn't just milk and spice. It's a cocktail of artificial preservatives and stabilizers, the kind that keep it soft and colourful for months. Here's the problem. Those same preservatives, the ones listed in tiny print on the back of the package, can quietly throw off the balance of good bacteria in your gut. And your gut isn't just about digestion. It's your second brain, home to trillions of microbes that help regulate mood, energy, and inflammation. When those healthy bacteria get disrupted, you might start to feel it in subtle ways: bloating after lunch, irregular digestion, or that tired, heavy feeling that never seems to go away. Over time, the imbalance can raise inflammation throughout the body, making everything from joint stiffness to brain fog just a little worse. Frank knows this all too well. He's a 68-year-old veteran from Arizona who loved his spicy sandwiches, 2 slices of Pepper Jack, almost every day. At first it was just flavour, but then came the bloating, the gas, the unpredictable digestion. He brushed it off until a nutritionist looked closely at his meals and pointed straight to the processed cheese. 3 weeks after removing it and switching to cleaner options, his gut calmed down completely. No more discomfort, no more constant irritation, just normal easy days again. If you miss that little kick of heat, you don't have to give it up. Try adding fresh jalapeno slices or crushed red pepper flakes to a clean natural cheese like goat cheese or part-skim mozzarella. You'll get the flavour you love and your gut will thank you. Now let's move on to another kind of cheese that seems elegant and sophisticated, yet carries a hidden risk that goes far deeper than taste. 2. Blue cheese, the mold illusion. Blue cheese has always carried a sense of sophistication. It's the kind of cheese that shows up on fancy salads paired with pears, or a glass of wine, often seen as a mark of good taste. But beneath that gourmet image lies something your body may not thank you for, especially after 60. The very molds that give blue cheese its rich aroma and sharp flavour also produce compounds called tyramine and mycotoxins. In small amounts, those may not bother everyone, but as we age, our bodies become less efficient at breaking them down. Tyramine can trigger spikes in blood pressure or headaches, while mycotoxins add stress to your liver, immune system, and brain cells. Judith, a 72-year-old retired artist from North Carolina, loved adding crumbles of blue cheese to her lunch salads. She believed that a little aged mold meant it was more natural, but soon she began noticing something odd: headaches that came out of nowhere, nights of restless sleep, and days where her mood dipped for no clear reason. When her neurologist suggested removing aged cheeses from her diet, Judith was skeptical. Yet within 2 weeks her headaches vanished, her energy steadied, and she started sleeping peacefully again. Even something elegant can quietly exhaust your system. That's why moderation is key. If you truly enjoy blue cheese, treat it like an occasional flavour, not a daily staple. A sprinkle once in a while is fine, but avoid pairing it with wine or cured meats. That combination adds even more tyramine, putting extra pressure on your heart and blood vessels. Instead, reach for a few toasted walnuts and a bit of feta if you crave that tangy bite. You'll get the flavour, the texture, and the satisfaction without the strain. Up next is a cheese that doesn't even pretend to be real. One found in nearly every American kitchen, wrapped in plastic and disguised as harmless comfort. But it may be doing more long-term harm than any of the rest. 1. American cheese. The processed impostor. For many of us, American cheese feels like home. It's in grilled cheese sandwiches on burgers at backyard cookouts and tucked between slices of toast on cold mornings. But here's the hard truth that familiar yellow slice isn't really cheese. It's a product built in factories half dairy and half chemistry. What gives it that perfect melt and long shelf life isn't wholesome milk. It's a blend of emulsifiers, preservatives, and colorings that help it look and taste the same year after year. The problem is what happens once it's inside the body. Those additives can confuse your metabolism, nudging blood sugar and insulin levels higher even when you're not eating much carbohydrate. Over time, that roller coaster of insulin spikes can make it harder to maintain energy and focus, especially for older adults already managing blood pressure or diabetes. Some of those same stabilizers have also been linked to low-grade inflammation in the brain, which can quietly dull memory and mood. It's not dramatic, it just creeps in a little more fog, a little less sharpness. Walter, a 66-year-old retired truck driver from Ohio, grew up on American cheese sandwiches. He called it comfort on bread. But as the years passed, that comfort came with a cost. His fasting glucose began creeping up, and he started forgetting small things: names, appointments, conversations. When his daughter helped him swap those processed slices for real cheddar and fresh mozzarella, the change was slow but real. His blood sugar eased back down, his energy steadied, and even his memory seemed to brighten again. You don't have to give up your favorite warm sandwich. Just trade the plastic-wrapped slices for real cheese, the kind that lists simple ingredients you can pronounce. If the label says cheese product or processed, that's your cue to put it back. Your brain, your heart, and your next grilled cheese will all be better for it. Now that we've uncovered the 4 cheeses most likely to quietly harm your health, it's time to turn the page. Let's explore the ones that do the opposite. The cheeses that heal, restore, and help you feel strong again from the inside out. It's easy to feel a little overwhelmed after hearing all that, but here's the good news. Not every cheese works against you. In fact, a few of them can quietly do the opposite. The right kinds can soothe your gut, steady your mind, and bring back that natural strength you thought was fading. Think of it as balance, returning one small mindful choice at a time. So take a breath. Maybe sip that cup of coffee beside you, and let's shift from warning signs to healing tools. The cheeses that actually help your body feel alive and supported from the inside out. 4. Feta. Light, tangy, and restorative. After all that talk about the cheeses, to avoid, let's start this new list with one that truly deserves a place on your plate: feta. Real feta, the kind made from goat or sheep's milk, is one of the gentlest and most nourishing cheeses you can eat as you age. It's naturally lower in lactose than cow's milk cheese, which means it's easier on digestion for the many people who start noticing sensitivity later in life. And its fat profile is different too. Goat and sheep milk carry more of the medium-chain fatty acids that your body burns for energy instead of storing as belly fat. That's one reason feta often leaves you feeling lighter, not sluggish after a meal. But the real beauty of feta lies in how it supports the heart and gut at the same time. Its natural probiotics help balance intestinal bacteria, while its combination of calcium, phosphorus, and anti-inflammatory fats supports healthy blood flow and muscle function. Recent research on older adults has even shown that regular servings of sheep or goat cheese can lower inflammation markers and improve gut diversity. 2 key factors in staying strong and active after 60. Helen, a 69-year-old retired music teacher from Oregon, learned this firsthand. She loved cheese but often felt bloated after meals and was told her cholesterol was creeping up. When her dietitian suggested replacing her daily cheddar with true sheep's milk feta, the results surprised her. Within 6 weeks, her digestion calmed, her energy returned, and her cholesterol dropped nearly 20 points. "I didn't change much," she said, "just the kind of cheese I kept in my fridge." If you want to try it yourself, look for Feta packed in brine. That salty liquid keeps the probiotics alive longer. Rinse it lightly before using. Crumble it over fresh greens and drizzle with a bit of olive oil. The mix of healthy fats and natural flavor turns even a simple salad into something restorative. Now let's move on to a cheese that might already be in your kitchen, one that not only adds rich flavor but also feeds your brain and muscles in ways few others can. 3. Parmesan, brain and muscle supporter. If Feta is the gentle healer, Parmesan is the powerhouse. The nutrient-dense classic that proves simple foods can still be extraordinary. Real Parmesan, known in Italy as Parmigiano Reggiano, is aged for a year or more, and that slow process transforms it into something special. As it matures, its proteins naturally break down into smaller pieces, almost like being pre-digested, which makes it much easier for your body to absorb. That means even if your digestion isn't what it used to be, you can still get the full benefit of its protein, calcium and minerals without feeling heavy afterward. This is one of the reasons chefs call Parmesan a smart cheese. It nourishes muscles and supports brain function at the same time. It's rich in amino acids, like glutamate. Not the artificial kind used in flavoring, but the natural form your brain actually uses to communicate between cells. It also contains a dense mix of calcium and phosphorus, both essential for bone and nerve health. Studies have shown that when older adults add small daily servings of aged Parmesan to their meals, they experience steadier energy and better focus along with improved muscle retention. Arthur, a 74-year-old retired engineer from Wisconsin, experienced exactly that. He stayed active but noticed his strength slipping even though he ate plenty of protein. His dietitian suggested shaving authentic Parmesan over soups and salads each day. 8 weeks later, his energy returned, and he'd regained 2 pounds of lean muscle without changing his workouts. He said it felt like his body finally remembered how to rebuild itself. If you want the same benefit, skip the powdered kind that comes in cans. Those often contain fillers like cellulose or preservatives. Instead, look for a small wedge stamped with Parmigiano Reggiano and grate or shave it fresh. A little goes a long way, and every sprinkle supports your muscles' memory and vitality. Next, we'll move from hard and savory to something soft, creamy, and surprisingly powerful. A cheese that not only comforts but helps rebuild strength right where age tries to take it away. 2. Ricotta, gentle muscle builder. Soft, creamy, and quietly powerful. That's ricotta. Many people think of it only as a layer in lasagna or a sweet spread for breakfast toast, but fresh ricotta is actually one of the most effective muscle-building foods for older adults. What makes it special is that it's made from whey, the liquid left over after other cheeses are formed. That whey is packed with amino acids, especially leucine, which plays a key role in helping your body rebuild muscle tissue. After 60, the natural process of muscle renewal slows down, and many seniors start to notice that even small tasks feel harder. Ricotta helps reverse that by feeding your muscles the raw materials they need to grow stronger again. Beyond that, ricotta is gentle on the stomach. It digests easily, offers steady energy, and provides a good dose of calcium and immune-supporting proteins like lactoferrin. These help your body use iron more efficiently, something that matters when fatigue or lightheadedness starts to creep in. It's the kind of food that quietly supports you in the background, helping every system do its job just a little better. Gloria, a 66-year-old caregiver from Michigan, knows exactly how that feels. She'd been running on empty, feeling weak by mid-morning, even with a full breakfast. Her nutritionist suggested adding a few spoonfuls of ricotta to her morning oats and fruit. Within a few weeks, her energy returned, and her blood tests showed her hemoglobin climbing back into the healthy range. She said it was the first time in years she'd gone through an afternoon without that heavy slump. If you want to try it, skip the tubs filled with thickeners or gums. Look for fresh ricotta from the deli or farmer's market, the kind that feels light and fluffy. Spread it on whole grain toast, swirl it into oatmeal, or top it with berries for a breakfast that tastes indulgent but works hard for your body. Up next, we'll finish our list with a cheese that's even more remarkable, one that helps your gut, brain, and immune system all at once. 1 goat cheese, the all-in-one healer. Of all the cheeses out there, goat cheese might be the most underrated, and yet for seniors it's one of the most complete foods you can choose. It's light, easy to digest, and packed with nutrients that support nearly every system in the body. Goat cheese contains natural probiotics which help restore healthy gut bacteria. The same microscopic allies that strengthen immunity, improve mood, and support smooth digestion. It's also rich in medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs, a type of healthy fat your body quickly converts into energy instead of storing as fat. And one of its quiet superpowers is caprylic acid, a compound that helps maintain the integrity of the gut lining, reducing the risk of what doctors call leaky gut, a condition linked to inflammation, fatigue, and brain fog. For someone over 60, all of that adds up to a big difference in how you feel day to day. Sam, a 70-year-old retired postal worker from New Mexico, used to struggle with bloating, allergies, and irritable digestion. His naturopath suggested swapping out his usual cheese for aged goat cheese and adding a few leafy greens on the side. Within 5 weeks, his stomach settled, his energy lifted, and his seasonal allergies eased so much that he called it life before and after cheese. What really surprised him was how much calmer he felt overall. No afternoon crash, no restless nights. If you'd like to try it yourself, go for aged or local varieties. They're richer in probiotics and flavor. Choose plain unflavored types without added oils or gums, and enjoy them with fiber-rich foods like vegetables, apples, or whole grain crackers. The combination feeds your gut bacteria and helps your body absorb the nutrients even better. You don't have to give up cheese, just choose smarter. The right ones can calm inflammation, sharpen your mind, and nourish your body from the inside out, once more. The truth is, not all cheese is bad, far from it. What often hurts us isn't the food itself, but how it's been changed. Modern processing has turned something once simple and nourishing into a shelf-stable product our bodies barely recognize. The good news is you don't need willpower to fix that. You just need awareness. Every time you swap a processed slice for a clean, natural cheese, you're giving your body the chance to heal. It's a small decision, but those small swaps add up: 1 sandwich, 1 salad, 1 quiet breakfast at a time. Over the weeks, your digestion feels smoother, your energy steadier, your mood lighter. That's what real food does. It reminds your body how to function the way it was designed to. So now it's your turn. Have you ever noticed feeling bloated or foggy after eating certain cheeses? Which one are you planning to replace first? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. We read every one of them. Your story might be exactly what helps another senior discover relief, or encourages someone who's just starting to make changes. Sharing what you've learned could be the nudge someone else needs to take that first step toward better health. Stay curious, stay kind to your body, and remember, healing often begins with something as small as what's on your plate. Every story, every tip we share here is meant to remind you, aging is not decline. It's wisdom in motion. Stay well, my friend. Until next time.